Hey guys, welcome to our next lecture. In this lecture, we're going to go a little bit further with the if function, and we're going to introduce another element known as the OR function. Now, the great thing about Excel is that you can combine multiple formulas or multiple conditions in one cell, which means like if you were on paper, you'd have multiple lines, a lot of lines when you're doing calculations, but in Excel, you can do it all in one cell. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the first question is, what is the OR function? Especially when it's used with the if function. Well, all it means is you're adding another condition. In the previous lectures, I showed you how to write an if function based on one condition. If A equals B, or if A is greater than B, or if the alphabetical letter is equal to J, and so on. What the OR function does is allows you to add another condition. So if it equals J or T, pull it out. So you can do two things at once. Now, for example, in the OR function, this is how I like to imagine it. Imagine you're in a clothing store and you're a girl, okay? And you go to the staff member and say, I want to buy a dress. Now, fellas, imagine you're a girl buying a dress. Some of you, it won't be that hard. It will be easier for some than others. Okay, so you say to the staff member, I'm happy to buy a dress as long as it's the color blue or the color red. One or the other, doesn't matter, as long as it's one of those. So what happens is, she comes back with a blue dress. Then you're happy with that. You go and buy it. So that's your true condition. Okay? But if she comes back with a red dress, it's also true. So you also buy it. However, if she comes back with a purple dress, then you don't want it. Because your condition was, it either has to be blue or it has to be red. Otherwise, I'm not going to buy it. So that's the basis of the OR function. So I hope that helps. Okay, so let's go to our example, which is the one over here. Okay? So let's zoom in and move it to the right a little bit. Okay, so here we are. So the way the OR function works is like this. Let's go back to our mapping formula up here. Now, what we're going to do is use your eye color. Now, we have to assume you only have one eye color. For some of you, I know you have two different eye colors. You're just going to have to pick one. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use your eye color, but then we're going to say if it's either black or red or brown or yellow. So it allows you to go through more data quickly as well. Okay, so my eyes are, I think, brown. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go in here. If eye color, oops, I deleted it. So if eye color, let's do that again, is equal to brown, okay, then we want to have our last name, okay. So let's call it Jamaican last name. We want that pulled out. Otherwise, again, we want to leave it blank. Okay, so in the description, we're going to go like this. If the eye color is brown, then write Jamaican last name. Otherwise, write blank. Okay? Now, as you can see here, we have, again, the same structure. We have the criteria, we have the true condition, and we have the false condition. So we just copy that back into here again. So if eye color is equal to brown, oops, don't need that, then write Jamaican last name. Otherwise, leave it as blank. Okay? So now what we're going to do is take that formula we just wrote, okay, and bring it into our analysis or our table. So again, we want to tell Excel we're writing a formula. How do you do that? You type equals. So Excel now says, okay, he's writing a formula. What kind of formula are you writing? So you say if bracket. Okay, now the first condition will be if this column, let me just get out of this for a second, if this column is equal to brown, or if this column is equal to brown. So if we didn't have the OR function, we'd have to do this. If that is equal to brown, than whatever your true condition is and whatever your false condition. But what about this column here? We haven't taken that into account. So that's where the OR function comes in. So we go equals if. Now to write the OR function is, again, you start with the formula. You go OR bracket. So now you're in the OR formula, as you can see. So we have the structure here. You have the logical one, that's the same as before when it said logical test, or it's the same as criteria. So we just copy the criteria. If this one is equal to brown, or, comma, your next condition, this is equal to brown. Okay, now we're finished with the OR function, so we close that off. And as soon as you press comma, you go back into the if function. As you can see, it's changed now. So that's your condition. The entire OR function is your condition now. Okay, so if it's true, we want to pull out the Jamaican last name. And if it's false, we just want to write blank. So double quotes. And that's it. So now we close it off. Now one extra thing to show you guys, which some of you may not have picked up, is notice the color of the brackets. The OR function brackets are green, okay, and the ones on the outside are blank. This helps, especially when you have longer formulas, if you have the right amount of brackets. If you have an extra one, then mathematically or logically it won't make sense. So this is a way of seeing that, okay, the OR function's been closed off and the if function's been closed off. So if you're happy with that, we press enter, like so. Then you want to grab it and use the fill handle once again. Okay, so when we release this, it should pull out the Jamaican last name for the color brown, as you can see now. So it goes, if this one is equal to brown or that one's equal to brown, then we write Jamaican last name. Okay, so there you go. There's heaps and heaps of combinations you can do with this. You can make it so if that's brown or that's burgundy or pink and so on. So have fun with that. See how creative you can get. Use the mapping if function, map, whatever you want to call it, and see how you go. Alright guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.